Hello, welcome to Micro 130 Spring 2016 edition. My name is Dr. K, and this short-ish video will give you a very quick overview of the course, where to find the course content, and hopefully give you some tips on how to succeed through this course. So without further ado, just to try to keep this video short, let's jump right into it. So, if you've never used Laulima before, our website here is laulima.hawaii.edu. Note, don't put the www, otherwise you won't get here for some reason. And then just using your password, same one that you use checking your email to log in. At the top, you should see this one right here, Micro 130 Group, Spring 2016, and that should get you into our course site. So let's just go straight to the home page and see how things work. I'm going to flip the view here so we can see what you see. This is an exciting semester for Micro 130 because we've updated our website, but there's one tiny little issue with it. So when you are using Firefox, the best way to do it is see when this little thing comes up here. Just click on disable protection, and you got to do that every time you log in, and then boom, you can see the website, right? But in the event that you didn't do that, you can also just click on the little thing that says pop it out in another window, although it's always best to kind of view it in the website that you're looking at. What if you're using Chrome? Chrome has its other issues, so that's what I was talking about. You can just relaunch a new page. If you see Chrome, click on the shield over here and then just load unsafe scripts, just because there's certain mixed content. And then again, you will see the website. Safari, I believe you don't need to do anything to see what you need to see. Okay, but Firefox is my preferred website browser. That's the one that I feel like works the best. Internet Explorer is the one I don't recommend, right? So whichever one, Chrome, Firefox, or Safari, all work fine. What you're going to see for the first little while here is our little intro page. What This is what you should do. It's an important notice, right? Read all the announcements. So there will be at least one, probably more. Read the syllabus and watch the video. And the video is the one that you're watching right now, actually, right? So if you are watching this, then you don't have to watch the video because you are already watching it. And then after you've done all these three things, you just click on here to go to the home page, right? So sometimes people miss this. Click here to go to the home page. See this big red click here? Just click on that. But make sure you've read everything first, right? And this is what you're going to see for most of the semester. This is our homepage. My name again, Dr. K. Here's my office. I have office hours, but I'm always in and around. No one ever comes to see me. So if you want to come see me, just by appointment is the best way. By appointment is how you want to come see me, or email me. That's the most preferred way to contact me because I check my email all the time. You can try and call me, but unless I happen to be sitting in my office, and like I've said, I'm bouncing around a lot. I have a prep room where I do my micro stuff. Sometimes I don't quite answer my phone, but you can. Voicemail does go to my email, but the email is the best way to contact me. I always prefer that. And I have Skype, so if you want to Skype me, you can Skype me there. Another thing we've added in the last little while is text message alerts. So whenever I send an email announcement, I can also send a little text message to you to just let you know that, hey, there's an email announcement. The announcements are the big broadcast things that are kind of important for everyone. You should read it right away type of stuff, right? So if you prefer to get it through your text messages, just click on this, follow the directions. But basically, if you text at MICR130 www to this number, it should sign you up for the system. Okay, and if you signed up and you never ever get a text message, let me know something funny happened, right? But click here for more instructions. Read the syllabus, click on the syllabus button. Let's click on the syllabus button. All right, so here's the syllabus. You can download the syllabus in PDF format, or you can just read it right here. There's no real need to print it. A lot of this stuff is the same as you just on the home page. Same contact information and all that kind of stuff. Here's our textbook, but the announcement tells you a little bit more about the textbook. Some actually get by without using the textbook, right? So, whatever you feel like doing. And then general course objectives, blah blah blah. Online course, very important stuff, right? If you've never taken an online course before, I recommend you go through some of these links. If you have taken an online course before, we try to make this thing as I try to make this thing as streamlined as possible, trying to make this as regular and as easy to manage as possible. This is the part that everyone gets into. Where does your grade come from? Right, so we have 12 modules. Each module has a quiz worth 40 points. That's 480. 3 modules equals 1 exam. So that's 4 exams, 100 points each. There is a group project. Yes, a group project. 100 points, and then discussion assignments worth 20. Add that up to 1,000. Basically, 900 more is an A, 800 to 899 is a B, etc., 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 etc. Pretty straightforward scoring system. A little bit more about each. There are one 20 question quiz per module, right? But you can take the quiz 3 times. Where did I write that? Quizzes may be attempted 3 times, and I only keep the highest score. Okay. Now the quiz is a random draw from a pool of questions. Now it's recommended that you take the quiz 3 times because the same pool of questions ends up for the exams, right? So the exams is draws from the same pool of quiz questions. So the more you take your quizzes, the more chances you will see to catch as many of the possible exam questions. But again, it's a random draw, right? Now, very important, due to the size of the quiz pools, many questions will sound similar. So please read the questions carefully. So many people miss out easy points because they say, oh, I read this one before, click it. Or, oh, yeah, yeah, I know the answer to this one, click it. Right? But they all sound quite similar. So make sure you read carefully, please. Each quiz, 20 questions, 20 minutes. It is open book because it's at home, right? But don't be flipping through your notes and your PowerPoints while you're taking the quiz because you're going to run out of time. Right? So study like it's closed book. You can have your notes with you, and the notes will help you out on those 2 or 3 questions that you might have issues with. But if you're trying to go use them for 10, 15 questions, then you're going to be in trouble, right? So you've been warned. Treat it like a closed book quiz. Use your notes to help you. The exams must be taken at a testing center. There is no negotiating this point, right? So you have to take your exams at a testing center. Any of the UH testing centers will suffice, and I'll show you guys the list very soon if you've never been to one before. Same draw, same pool from the quiz, so use the quizzes to help you study for the exams, but note that you will probably not see all the questions. So you have to prepare for all the content. That's right, you actually have to study for this thing, right? 50 questions, 1 hour. Again, open book. The testing centers will know that. And as we get closer to the first exam, we'll go over some of the rules. Some of the testing centers don't like you bringing in computers and tablets and that kind of stuff. But you can bring in your notes. But just like before, you only have an hour. Don't go flipping through your notes for all the answers because you will run out of time. Study like it's closed book. Prepare like it's closed book. Use your notes to help you for those questions that you don't know the answers to. Right? So that's the idea. Group project we'll discuss. That won't launch until the second week of classes once rosters are set. So don't worry about it for now. Discussion assignments. We'll talk about discussion assignments. You know, they're easy points. Don't miss out on them. And a bunch of other things. Very important. Any specific problem or situation, any issue comes up, let me know right away. Right? Just let me know. Don't let things sit and linger for too long because that's when we get into trouble. Okay, so let's get back to our homepage. So how do we navigate what we need to navigate? Oh, by the way, this is a little bit about me if you want to know. In the Laulima help, and some of these videos are a little bit on the older side, right? But if you don't know how to use some of the tools, these little videos here will show you how to use the tools. How do I upload a profile pic? How do I use my discussion board? How do I take a quiz, etc., 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 right? So it tells you everything that you need to know, right? Use these. They're useful, right? I create them because some people have needed them. Okay, this is the thing that's going to go and occupy most of your time, right? So this is our module schedule, right? Module 1, as you'll see here, starts on January 11th. That's first day of class, ends on January 20th. Right, by clicking on Module 1, it says here all links are in red. Click on the module titles to view lecture videos and notes. You click on Module 1, and it'll take you to our Module 1 site, right, where you can read your lecture notes, PDF or Word format, whichever one you prefer, and then narrated PowerPoints, right? Also some animations. Let me show you a couple of things about this, and I'll only show you Module 1. Oops, what's going on here? This. How come you're not showing? There we go. Right, so here are your notes. Notice there are blanks in the notes, right? Part of the idea of this class is to try to simulate a classroom environment, make it feel like you're actually sitting in and listening and sitting in a class, right? So there are blanks in the notes, and guess how you can fill in the blanks? Well, we have these PowerPoints here, the narrated ones or the non-narrated ones. I recommend the narrated ones. You can listen to them. You can download them if you want. You can watch them on your tablets and on any of your mobile devices. Most of them will have 2 parts. Some will have 1. Or if you prefer, you can just have the non-narrative PowerPoint slides, right? But in the narration, I do talk a little bit more about each of the content and that kind of stuff. So it often helps to listen to the narrated stuff. Many times we'll have animations. So these animations help support many of the content, right? And the animation guide here will talk a little bit about what it is you should be looking at in the animations. So as far as quizzable and exam content, lecture notes, PowerPoint, and animations. That's where all our stuff comes from. Okay, so lecture notes, PowerPoint, and animations is where all our stuff comes from. Now, these things are all derived from the textbook, but the textbook uses a lot of words to help describe these things. What I've done is I've taken all the textbook pages and condensed them down into our lecture note, PowerPoint, and then these animations, which help support these. Okay, so this is our quiz slash exam content. All right, there we go. That's the big secret. So, back at our homepage, a couple of things I want to point out here are, so again, our first module runs January 11th to January 20th, and then notice after this, all our modules run 1 week long, right? So they're going to start on a Wednesday, I want to say, and then run until Tuesday, or is it Thursday to Wednesday? I don't remember, but it's 1 week long. Our first one runs just a little bit longer because we always have a little roster upheaval during the first week of classes, right? So it runs a little bit long. Here is the date for our first exam. During our first exam, there's no module content, right? So all you do is take your exam and finish off your group project, right? Now, some people have said, why is the group project due the same week as an exam? Well, guess what? You're allowed to do the group project anywhere from this time here, right? So you can start it at any time. You don't have to wait until the last day to submit it. I know, big shock, right? But you don't have to wait till the last day. This way, you're not scrambling to study for your exam and finish your group project. You can get it done anywhere along the way. Never been to a testing center? This one here, this link will take you to the testing centers, and it'll show you all the UH testing centers. And the list of testing centers here. Now, hey, how come there's only 3? Oh shoot, they changed this now. Okay, so you can click on it per island, right? So all of these testing centers are going to get the testing information. You can go to any one of these, no problem. Now, if you're one of those students that are off island, we do have people that take the class from the mainland or elsewhere, then you have to talk to me, right? But if you plan to go to any one of these testing centers, you do not need to let me know. They will get the information, okay? The only time I ever need to be contacted is sometimes every now and then information gets lost, but otherwise, any one of these testing centers. But yes, you must go to a testing center. All right, here comes secret number 2. Oh yeah, so if you ever have emails, you can actually email me this way if you want to. Up to you, right? Or just click on here. But anyways, if you ever have any, trick number 2, the discussion board. Right? So the discussion board here is what I like to use as our unifying central forum. Okay, this discussion board is very important to us because of a number of things. First of all, we have class discussions, regular, unannounced, semi-weekly discussions where you come in and post a bunch of things, right? And it's all designed to engage, learn about ourselves, and that kind of stuff. So here's a very basic one: introduce yourselves. I think all online classes have one of these things. A little bit of a basically, well, you can read through these and figure it out yourself, right? But read through the discussions. The problems with quiz questions is if you have any problems with quiz questions, don't email me. Post them on here because everyone's going to have the same problem, right? So just go like this, and then you can say Module 1 quiz problem or something like that, and then you write, I had a problem with this quiz question. Can someone help me? Right? And then the question is blah, 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 and then it's like A, and then B, and then C, oops, and then C, and then D. That's the preferred way to do this, and then say I chose D because blah, 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 but it turns out that I was wrong. Maybe I think it should be A. Can someone help? Right? And that's what you would write. And then after you post this, I'm going to delete this post. Someone says, oh yeah, I know the answer to this, right? So you're like, yeah, I had this exact same question, or I've never had this question before, but I do know the answer. I think it's B because of something, 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 right? And then you post that, and then someone else can come along one day and read this thing and say, oh yeah, I got the same question to this thing, right? And then say, Oh, so the answer is B. And this way we are sharing, collaborating, and learning from each other. Now, of course, I don't like to let this thing go unmoderated, right? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to read this and say, hey, everybody, good job. That's the right answer, right? So that means whatever is sitting here can be trusted as being the correct answer. And in the event that it's wrong, what I would say is, let's see, I'd probably go something like this and say, thanks for trying, but that wasn't quite the right answer. Maybe we can think of it more like this. And then post that, right? So then when you go and read through, you say, oh, that wasn't the right answer. And then it goes, no, but you know what? I do know the right answer. And you can reply to that. And you see how this goes, right? Learning and sharing and collaborating from each other. Now, sometimes oh yeah, and then the last one here, the disease profile project. This is where we submit our assignments for the disease profile. This is where we exchange our information, and eventually there will be a separate forum all for yourself, which I'll talk about later. Now, sometimes the discussion board starts to get populated, right? So, very quick way to check everything is just come to your discussion board, hit recent topics, and right there it tells you in order what was recently posted. And all you need to go through this. Okay, I read this one, I read this one. Oh no, I haven't read this one yet, right? And you just click on that, and it'll show you what you need. I believe it should be bolded, or like it's in yellow. I think the icon is in yellow when you haven't read it yet, right? So if there's new postings, you just click on recent topics, and then it'll show you all the new topics. And you should check it all the time because the discussion assignments are not going to be announced. Essentially, so then you check the discussion board all the time. Share information, learn from each other. Very important. Everything else is pretty straightforward. Quizzes and exams, I haven't put any up yet. Mail tool, if you want to email myself or someone in the class, right? So that's me. You just click on that, that'll come to me. Click on a student, any one of these guys you want to click. Just be careful. Don't do this because you just emailed the whole class, right? So if I want to go and contact Fiona and Jasmine because they're in my group, you just click on those two and then you do something and then you hit send and then boom, it comes to their hawaii.edu email, okay? And we don't have teaching assistants. And that's it. Gradebook. Everything will come to the gradebook. If you want to know where you stand, add up all your points, and your points up to 1,000. 900 points, you're done. You can stop working. That's pretty much how this thing works. If there are any questions, that's the major stuff. If there are any questions, then post it on the discussion board. That's how we're going to do it. And in fact, I put this little reminder here. Check your discussion board every day. And if you're too lazy to click on this thing over here, or sometimes if you're one of those that pops it out, you can just click on this thing. That'll take you to the discussion board. Right? So check the discussion board every day. Very important stuff. Any questions? Post them on here. I hope we have a great semester. You know, for the most part, we're probably gonna have about 80 to 85 students total in this class. We're gonna be very cramped in here. Lots of stuff flying around, right? But for the most part, last semester, I would say out of those 84 students that I started with, 75 had a great time. Okay, don't be one of those 9 or 10 that doesn't. A lot of that is because they don't check the discussion board. A lot of that is because they flake out and don't do the group project. Just do the work. I always say this: you cannot get an A on the first day of class, but you can earn an F on the first day, right? So just make sure you do all the work. If you miss anything, let me know right away so we can deal with it. Don't let me know at the end of the semester, right? Some of you are going to email me, Professor, I missed the quiz on October because I got sick, but I was too ashamed to tell you, and then now I'm 10 points away from an A. Don't be that person. Email me right away and we will deal with it. Okay? If you don't email me, we can't deal with it. So, with that being said, I hope we have a great semester. No, we will have a great semester. Let me know if you have any problems. Post in the discussion board. Happy 2016, and let's have an awesome year.